What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So we're gonna jump right on in. This is just a first impression video because there's a lot of content to cover inside here, and I want to get out what I can. So we're gonna start out with some of the main things that are gonna pop out to viewers, which is going to be the time attack special items that are jumping out. We've got starter pack for agents at $9.99. Basically, always apply these, in my opinion, is look at the price value, look at the crystal value. If the crystal value and the price value are equivalent, then you're basically getting the other items for free for the purchase of those crystals. So for instance, inside here you can see that we got a selector 6-star premium character acquired inside here, and those include a bunch of premium characters. So if you don't have any of the premium characters and want to skip out on trying to purchase those, this is a great way to purchase those. At $9.99 you're basically getting the crystals, and that means that the 6-star premium character acquired with the tier 2 mega advancement ticket is for the free. So this is not a bad value at all. We get the hero to level 70 jump up pack inside of here at $19.99 with the 2200 crystals. Good deal. Can't really complain about this. If you need it, then you need it. It's got the first potential realization tickets inside there. So if you actually need it, go ahead and purchase it. This is where we start to deter off a little bit because you're basically looking at $29.99 for the 2200 crystals. So you're not in a crystal equivalency here, which means that they're putting a value on the tier 3 mega advancement ticket and the gold inside the shop. So when you look at those overall, you can say there. So you're going to basically judge those based on news. I'll go a little bit more in depth in another video specifically for the time attack special items. Some good sales though inside of here overall, depending on where you stand inside your account, and this is really just a determinant about what you, the player, needs. Along with this inside of here, we've got some don't forget about these event quests, guys. I tend to forget about these sometimes, but the event shop items inside here are definitely worth their weight in value to you. This event shop doesn't look so great. You know, usually the first one of the update is never that great. I usually just use them for hidden tickets and energy, and that's about it. But don't forget about the event shop inside of here. We've been getting pop-ups like crazy, so they're definitely trying to sell these damn items to you inside the shop. There's plenty more store items inside the shop that I'll try to bring to your attention, yeah, in another video. But they're there, and you're gonna see a lot of pop-ups for them. The craft event is almost ending. 2 days left inside of here. I still haven't got my brilliant or my mighty CTP inside of here, so there's that. Timeline survival is making a comeback. Please do not forget. I love timeline survival. There's a new event that they have inside here. The mission reward is not necessarily so great because they threw in 3-star and 4-star, but if you're daring enough, you can purchase this little survival kit upgrade for 2500, which will get you a chance at 2 mission boards instead of 1 and increase temporal energy. Now is the time to purchase that because you don't want to purchase it as the event is going on because you miss out on the rewards. But it's a fun event. I jumped in at ultimate. Most players, as long as you have some level 70 tier 3s, you should be good to jump in here at ultimate and complete most of this content. We'll have to see if Doctor Strange still has the effect where he strips out most of the requirements to complete them, and he was always valued. You see, like, hey, you're gonna get these a lot. Pop-ups, Jesus Christ, almost every single time is like a pop-up. We've got the new season of the Future Pass up with the 2 new icons, the one for Doctor Strange, Somber Mystic, and the one for Man Thing. I keep calling him Swamp Thing, but he's not Swamp Thing at all inside, in here. So there goes the Betrayed Scientist. Neither two really popping off at me, but I'm gonna let you know you may want these mega uniform upgrade tickets, and we'll see where that comes in a second here. These pop-ups are crazy, man. They're crazy. It's like every time you come back to the screen, they're there. Like, they are there. So let's jump in real quick and take a look at these new uniforms that we've got inside the shop. Excuse me, where did I just go? There we go. The new uniforms that we've got inside the shop, because I think these uniforms are just popping off, to be perfectly honest. So we've got Sister Grimm sitting inside here, her Runways uniform. This is a mega upgrade for the character in terms of ability and in terms of look. Like, we basically went from a very diminutive, you know, young teen looking Sister Grimm to a very mature, thick, emo goth girl, and I'm here for it. It looks good. It's a great looking uniform. I'm planning to play test her. Definitely gonna get her tier 3. Is worth it, and you're gonna see why. Next up, we got Dr. Voodoo. On paper, I'm not exactly excited about his skills and things that they have here, but I will have to give it up to the development team. Great job that they've done on the Dr. Voodoo character kit. Like especially, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Like look at his locks. Them things are thangin'. They are giving everything that they're supposed to give, and they look absolutely amazing in my opinion. The whole uniform from top to bottom looks pretty good. He really looks to be more like a support type character, more than he's gonna be like a support DPS maybe type character than what you would have probably anticipated, but the uniform is looking good. We'll go into a little bit more detail into him later. I will transcend him. I will. Trust me. Gonna have to transcend him. Next up, we get Doctor Strange, and I'm pretty sure that's what everybody is here for, right? Is the T4 Doctor Strange. I gotta say, to be honest, they put the work in on Grimm. They put the work in on Dr. Voodoo. But when we get to Doctor Strange, you know, it pops a little. It pops. It's definitely facilitating what it needs to facilitate. But truth to power, it's just not giving it for me, especially as we come off of his previous uniforms that he had, like, you know, here. Going to this uniform just feels like a little step back in time. It's not a bad looking uniform at all. I'm dying to see what he gives on tier 4. He's gonna get a tier 4 no matter what, so stand by for that. I just gotta work it in. I started working him in, and I was hoping that I was gonna be one of those players that was gonna be able to get him you know, past the mark on day 1, but not so lucky at all. So the last character that we have up, and the one that you're gonna probably want to be looking at getting, is going to be Man Thing. So Man Thing is going to be blacked out and all the way at the end of your players list for you should you have players. He's gonna be sitting over there, so you need to get the 5 ISOs for my man right here. You need 5 ISOs, that's it, and you can find them inside the shop. So that means that he's relatively everywhere that you're probably gonna need him to be in order to get it, and he's gonna be free to play basically forever for everyone. So no timed events for him to be had, nothing like that. And to be honest with you, the uniform looks absolutely amazing. It kind of falters out somewhat on the back over here, but from the front, the character looks absolutely amazing. I'm not exactly sure why we get so much detail up here on the top, and then it kind of starts to falter as we get lower on the character, meaning, you know, some of the grapevines and stuff that are on him making up his musculature and veins, it just kind of looked weird there. But face details, body details up top, place where you're going to probably really be looking at the most, absolutely looks amazing. His kit is looking pretty good, especially if you were to get that artifact. Yeah, can't complain about that. Cannot complain about that. Really excited about that. Next up, we've got the additions to the game modes, where we now have a new team up collection. I'm gonna spend quite a bit of time doing a side video on this one, and I've already started looking at them, but hey man, they start hitting us with the shakedown already. So take a look at this and you'll see exactly what I mean. I'll give a more updated thing, but this is going to be somewhat of a disappointment, because it's like a little slap in the face, in my opinion, to, you know, free to play and new players. So what do I mean by that? So when you look at each of these individual completion challenges, essentially you can go down the list and you can see some of them. So for instance, I unlock new mutants secret mission, and then we get down here to reaching rare uniform levels. So they want you to reach rare uniform levels on all 5 of these uniforms that you have here. Well, that means that you would have to go in and purchase all of these uniforms. Do you have every single Wolverine uniform? Are you a new player just joining Marvel Future Fight? Do you have all of these old uniforms to level up? More than likely not. Like for instance, there's only one uniform that I don't own for Wolverine, and that was his House of X uniform, because I didn't want to purchase it underneath protest realistically. And notice it's not at a discount right now, even though it's popped up inside the shop. And I didn't want to get it as rare. It's also not on a gold sale. So in order to get these options for the entirety of X-Force and make your way along, you're going to have to purchase uniforms that you probably don't want to purchase. So there's definitely a deep investment to get to that 40% 40 and 10 benefit that you were looking at. And if you look down the pipe right here, it doesn't just end there, because they're gonna want you to transcend or tier 3 these characters. So you know, that gives you a little bit of direction for passing characters. But hey man, look at some of these uniforms that's sitting inside here. So when you get to legendary uniforms, they want you to level the likes of Cable, all of his uniforms. And you notice inside here, you get like the Exosaurus uniform is sitting inside there, right? And then you got over here like the Deadpool uniforms as well. Like, that's gonna be a pretty hefty hit, you know what I mean? Like, they want you to have them at legendary levels, and you can see it's a good idea because you can see which ones you do, which ones you don't have. Simple clicked on them, and it'll let you know like, hey, you do have these uniforms. Like you can see here, he's grayed out for me inside there. And basically, essentially, you're doing either transcendence or uniforms and mythicking uniforms as well. Now, the problem that I find with this is what happens when we start to get characters possibly put inside here that are going to be, you know, premium type characters that you then have to play with. Like, could we see that? And if these are premium type characters, or like you see, we got a lot of native tier 2s and stuff like that, this can get very expensive for you to be able to get at those applied effects. Now, the applied effects aren't necessarily so bad. You know, they've got some pretty interesting increases inside of them that you can choose. It's going to be really up to you inside here what you want, but not too bad in terms of the, you know, the level up rewards that you can go for inside of here, and they're going to provide you very big sustainables. So who is this going to benefit the most at front? Is going to be the whales, right? Because more than likely the whales have those uniforms and they've purchased and leveled up every uniform. Or you're going to have the veteran players who are going to be able to benefit these the most, and they're going to get those 40% benefits to these teams. So what we're going to need to see is how this plays out over the long haul for some of these. So for instance, for me, where I probably sit prettiest is when you look at like the Midnight Suns, where I can collect probably most of these, because I think I've leveled up quite a few Midnight Suns in terms of getting them up there. Now you can see I'm capped out right now because I need to get that uniform for Dr. Voodoo to get there. So like that rush that you're thinking about getting to for, like, you know, Doctor Strange, for instance, right? It's not just going to come so easy, because in order for you to do that, you're going to need to actually, no kidding, like, you know, get to the leveling of these other uniforms and make purchases here. So this is not an absolutely free new play option. That's the part where I dislike it a little bit. It's not exactly a free new play option. So it's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to be very pissed and very dismissive about it, because it gets really expensive. I mean, over the course of this, let's just look at these 5, which seems to be about 5 for the first, and then you get about 20 for the second row, for the 9th row, where you get about 21 uniforms. That's essentially 21,000, you know, 21,000, maybe 20 to 25,000 crystals that you're basically purchasing out there. This is not conducive to free-to-play players in the very least. Like, they're gonna get capped out on some of these levels, and you know, yeah. So I think that I got an additional video coming for that one overall. So the uniforms, we've got the uniforms, we've got the timeline battle, the timeline survival, we've got the new crafting event inside here. The next thing up that you need to point out is the story mode missions. So the story mode missions, the rewards have been reset. So for every player, I hope to God that you guys jumped in there and you got your clear bonus rewards and stuff like that for the stages, because you really should have. So for instance, here you can see at 8-3 we're getting Odin's blessings for the first clear. That's a really freaking good reward. It's not like it's not like Odin's a chance and you got, you know, some of the normal normal Uru inside there. No, it's a straight up Odin's blessings inside there. First clear rewards, some of the mythical chests, not so good at 8-2. We get some CCF, we get some Essence of Dimension, Titan component packs, some gold. Look at that. Look at that. We even got some biometrics. So I wonder if Man-Thing is included. He should be included inside these bios. Let's see. You should. Yep, there he is. I thought he would be. So you can see right down there, Man-Thing is included inside your biometrics. So all you gotta do is get a biometric selector, or you know, whatever. You know, you get these on a normal day, and you can get your Man-Thing right away. So you get some more cards, CCF, Titan component packs, Essence of Dimension. All right, so like some of the wars ain't really given what I expected them to give, but I was hoping to see some more T4 material. So what I'm interested to see was the combined fragments and see whether or not these have changed in the slightest, and it looks like they have not. Beggars can't be choosers. As the rewards go up here in stages, so we get artifact. Oh, look, that's awesome. So you can get 3-star artifact chests, and it includes a few of the artifacts inside here. I would love to get this Wakanda Forever. That doesn't look to be a selector though, so it's gonna be, there we go. So 10-1, we actually get some souls of the Faultine and carbonadium, and then some life seeds as well. So that's looking better in terms of there, but you can see why you're going to, oh, look at that, first clear reward is an advanced type ticket. That's nice. Carbonadium T4 materials, so you're definitely going to want to jump inside here and get these rewards because they're first clear rewards. Upgrade mythic ticket inside there, so gonna need those now, right? So this is looking pretty good. It doesn't, like, the daily rewards haven't seemed to change at all. So except the artifact, and I think they said they were changing around to boost ESO inside of these. So like, let me see if these fragments inside here, they've changed these. So we've just got the cards, which I can't remember what stage it is, but you want to go back in and you want to definitely make a play for these because it's going to be beneficial to you. You can see all the way down here, time runs out is where you get the rewards. So I wish I would have paid attention to that in the first place, because then I wouldn't have to go to each of those, and you're basically battling all the way to get the mythic tickets inside there. So this is a good event inside. This is a good change up inside there, so that way you can get some additional rewards inside. I'm not mad at it at all. That's pretty much the majority of what's going on. I think the major piece of the update is sitting with inside of the team up collection, and that deserves its own conversation in its own right. So I'm going to do an individual video about that. Bottom line, don't race to chase on that one, because otherwise you'll go broke, or your wallet is your wallet. So do with your wallet as you may. I think I sit in a good position because I don't think I've missed out on as many uniforms as maybe some people have. I think especially for, like, your Midnight Suns type characters that possibly are going to be inside that fold, or your any of the Sinister Sticks or the calls. So not a whole lot moving and changing there. I want to do individual videos for these. I'm really excited about Doctor Strange getting his T4. I'm hearing rumblings that we possibly have a seasonal for Ghost Rider coming up, which means that he could be the mid-month T4 as well. So I'm excited about that as well. Another one of my favorite characters. Be on standby to look for those. I hope you guys enjoyed this first impression video. I try to keep it quick and keep it short to just answer the individual questions. I'm going to make sure that I put out a video pretty immediately after this one for the store items and a review, so that way you know what is best suited for you to purchase and what's best suited not for you to purchase. The characters, like I said, is going to be a pretty much toss-up, because it's going to pretty much be a need now at this point. It's not going to be a really question about whether or not you should purchase the uniform, because you're going to need to purchase the uniform if you want to be competitive inside PvP, if you want to be competitive inside alliance battle and things like that. You're going to need to purchase these uniforms, especially with this new team up collection. So like, you get the Midnight Suns, it's going to really be hard pressed. But the one good thing about this that I will say that might not be readily accepted by the community is that when we get these uniform options inside of here, we now essentially have another way to say, like, well, there might be some value inside that uniform, having that uniform, except that this is just going to ingratiate and say to myself again, this is why we need transmog options inside the game, because then it gives me value. Because leveling up an old uniform for Moon Knight for a free-to-play player just to get these 10% rewards doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, there's not a whole lot of sense in that. So, we got to figure that out, guys. We got, like, there's got to be some better reason other than get this team up collection inside of it. I have said for the longest PvP in this game is not for me. It's the PvE. It's a PvE type game. I don't really play PvP inside of Marvel Future Fight, so that way I can get the ultimate rewards and stuff like that. If this and to be truthful with you, if you're just a PvE player, then this doesn't have much ramifications for you, because realistically, a lot of the PvE content that you still have in game, you can get those clear bonuses without having even T4 characters to basically complete them. You can do a lot of the world boss legends, a lot of the content with just normal tier 3 characters who are maxed out. And so yeah, spicy. I'm dying to see what the commentary is going to be about this. I'm dying to see, but it ain't gonna look so great. I already know it ain't gonna look so great, especially when we get to this level 21. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Until next time, peace.